Greetings, my friends. This is Celerio Rosencreutz, and on this episode we shall be looking, unfortunately, once again at the character creator, but only briefly. You see, last time I forgot some very important steps. Hair, which really won't be actually very important, itself is not something that should be entirely overlooked insofar as hair actuates hair color, and hair color actually has some lore to it. So, firstly, very short, stereotyped as masculine, okay? Wildly curled, short hair, entirely loreless. Squarely chopped straight hair with bangs. Squarely chopped straight hair with bangs parted. Ponytail, long hair pulled back and bound with bangs. Ponytail B, long hair and bangs pulled back and bound. Pigtails, long hair bound on both sides. Bun, long hair bound loosely. And braided, long braided hair as the old nobility. So this is actually somewhat relevant. If we see someone wearing this hairstyle, they are either noble themselves or are attempting to imitate them. That's about the only important thing for the hair itself. But hair color, we can find some interesting things with. Black hair and eyes are considered a basic color. It'll be just present amongst the commoners, to be somewhat expected when black hair is, as far as I understand it, the most common hair in Japan. Dark brown hair and eyes, also basic hair color. This will be very common in Europe. Light brown, similar, basic hair. Dark red hair and eyes, also a basic hair color. Interesting that they portray the ginger as being very common. Not entirely unreasonable, however. Here we get to dark blue, however. Common in Kareem. This indicates that there's some sort of aesthetic connection between Kareem and ravens, as this would normally be called raven hair. Moving on, though, we see gray hair is common in northern Katarina. Katarina is, therefore, a place that has diversity in, at the very least, hair color throughout its country, rather than being defined by a single sort of hair color and complexion. But gray is something that is found especially there. Gold. Hair color which is beloved by certain members of the nobility. This makes some sense. We see this carried on into Elden Ring. Gold is the symbol of the noble. Presumably here it is symbolic of the lightning of Gwen. Silver is considered to be antiquated in these Silver is considered to be antiquated in these times, meaning that there was at some point, Silver is considered to be antiquated in these times, meaning that there has been some strange fashion relating to hair and eye color in the nobility. Presumably, there's been some sort of selective breeding as a result of this. People used to like silver hair and eye color, now it's out of fashion. I wonder if this indicates that there was some other important god that happened to have silver hair and eye color. Regardless, moving on, dark purple has a very interesting distinction, rare color of a near-extinct race. So this indicates that there is a group of people in this world which are nearly gone completely, which used to have natural purple hair color. If we notice this, we will then be able to point out who these people are, and we might begin to see, or at least investigate, why they are extinct. Finally, we have burning red hair and eye color. These are considered very rare, but not necessarily indicative of an extinction event. Regardless, it is worth noting, and we should consider this to be indicating some sort of weird situation where a person happens to be, I don't know, of a rare bloodline or something along those lines. Maybe it's not quite that, maybe they're distributed evenly throughout the population, but seeing as it is a rare color, we should at least keep our eyes out for this. and question why it is a rare color. Now we can actually load the game and properly begin playing. Here we look at the floor and we see there are bugs scuttling about in addition to the rats which we noted earlier. There's a bucket, presumably to use as a latrine. There is straw in the corner here, probably to lay upon. Or, whoops. I'm not sure what these sacks would have been for, but nicely, we are not chained up to these. That would be very inconvenient. There is also a broken window here. The window sees a stone wall right on the other side, indicating that probably this room was actually remodeled, and at one point there was either a window outside or we could see directly into other cells. We've now acquired the key to our cell. Thankfully, that night has given us something that is useful. Be wary of trap. Okay. Happiness ahead. Oh yes, I'm sure. We go here, we notice there is one cell to the side. This one, however, we cannot open. There's a praying man inside, seeming to have some great desire for freedom in the same way that we have. Perhaps they happened to see the knight who came and thought that they might actually give aid to them. Right stick equals camera controls. Yes, thank you, developer message. Someone died here, as we see the ubiquitous bloodstains that are left over in these Souls-like games. Someone there is clinging to what little light they have. Perhaps they were a follower of Gwyn and quite appreciate the sun. Uh-oh, their eyes are red though. They must have gone insane. Torches are blooming here, giving us actual ability to see. That is very helpful. This, as is usually the case, is the attack button. This person is crying and is not really in any situation to cause us danger, so we're going to ignore them. Oh, but look! Some giant monster nearby. Very interesting foreshadowing, video game. Thank you. That person is already dead. Seems that someone decided they didn't want to give the courtesy that we're giving to that one. This cell appears to be empty. Right trigger is the strong attack. Left and hold B equals dash. Huzzah! Takes a little while to get going. Brickwork is in a bit of disrepair. As said in the intro sequence, this place looks a little bit damp and musty. That guy is insane, so we'll probably have to defend ourselves. Right stick is target lock. Duly noted. Hello, are you going to attack us? No, it seems this tutorial enemy is not going to bother. That's interesting. They decided that torch needed to be protected by an iron grate. I wonder why. Punching eats up significantly less stamina. That will be important. And here we go. Rest at bonfire, recover HP. Okay. This signals we probably just used our soul to light that. I don't see any reason why we would have been able to light the fire without any sort of tool otherwise. Good luck. Good luck indeed. This will probably take a while. Now, we look up. We see there's a giant monster up there. Hooray! The boss is waiting for us. Oh no, the shockwaves can hurt us as well. And stun us, it would seem. Ooh, a double attack sequence. Oh, and we died because we didn't time it right. Oh well. Back to the bonfire. Let's see how much more the blade actually does. Although, I suppose I didn't go directly to the bonfire there. Should have rested at it first. Oh no. Little bit of a walk back. We'll have to get used to this. Now let's take a moment to grab this. Oh no! And it looks like two-handing this little blade of ours is just as much damage as hitting it with a fist. In fact, two-handing it does no difference in damage. Oh, the horror. Let's see about the strong attack. Oh, strong attack does the exact same as the light attack? Oh no! Well, there's no reason to be using that broken blade then. Good thing we already knew that. More stamina for basically nothing? not a good deal. Now, one could argue theoretically that the reach might matter some, but I don't think so. Let's look at this thing. Upturned nose, stubby, ugly tail, lots of fat, horns on the head, wings. I don't know about you, but I think this is... Oh wait, it tells us. A demon. Now, you might think that indicates that this is probably even more evidence for it being a sequel to Demon Souls. And to some extent, that is correct. But you have to understand, demons have been featured all the way since Kingsfield, so they are a staple of FromSoft games in general. As such, maybe it is extra evidence that this is a sequel to Demon Souls, but at the same time, well, it's not super strong evidence. What this is evidence of, however, is that humans are cooperating with demons for the corralling of the undead. And that should be a major red flag. No! not really a victory achieved, unfortunately. I had promised myself I would do that without relying on these stupid fire bombs. But it is now dinner time, and I've spent essentially the entire day working on this monster. This is the 4th version of this character because I got knocked into the stupid exit 3 different times, and I'm done. I was able to get it down to 10% of its life, but that was the best run, and I wasn't able to repeat that. It's starting to eat away at my nerves over time, so that I only was able to consistently get it below 50% these last 10 or so runs. And I need to eat something. So, the Asylum demon has fallen. I wish I had been able to do it entirely by myself, but that's the end of that. As I said, the Asylum demon suggests that humanity is siding with the demons for some reason, working together to corral the undead. And it sounds like there's still another one of them. So, that actually does make a lot of sense. That one over there was not, in fact, down below, stomping in the area that I was able to actually see. So, maybe another one will get to be fought. Another day. Anyway, this has been Celeria Rosencreux, and I wish this was a better result, but next time we shall continue on to... That is freaking weird. It doesn't close on you automatically if you've killed the demon. Is it linked with the gate itself somehow? Well, whatever. Next time we'll actually do this and get a proper weapon other than bombs. See you later.